All right, good morning. We're going to get started just a tad early this morning. Let's see here. Yep, I went live over there. Let's go over here. Trying to make sure I can see the chat before I get going here. There we go. All right, so good to go. It's a Monday morning for me. Gonna do a little coding this morning. We're gonna try to fix our problem here right off the bat with kind of the logic issue we're having here with our little tool. So let's start by showing everybody exactly where we are. So I'm working on my little tool here. It's called Catron. And what we're doing is we're just trying to do some automated recon on these CTF boxes so we can learn a lot of stuff. You learn about coding, you learn about how the tools work, you learn a ton about Linux and about how to be able to manipulate other tools with Python and things like that. And we're having a problem right now, but first we're going to delete. Actually, we don't even need to delete the Spicy Hut notes. I've got it right here. Spicy Hut is the box that I've chosen this morning to work on. Hey, hello, how are you doing? All right. Prepare group, I will join you. All right. So startup is the box we're working on this morning. I mean, we're probably not going to get it this morning and finish it. That's not the point. The point is to work on the recon tools this morning. We're going to run. Here's how you run the tool. Catron.py, I for the IP address, N for the name of the host / CTF box. And then F is force, which means it forces it to rerun all the tools over again, which is really nice in this mode that we're in right now because a lot of times that's what we need. So actually, let's do this though. Let's go ahead and delete it just so you can see kind of what comes out the other end. Did I already have it deleted? I don't see it on here right now. Spicy. Okay, it's gone. I already deleted it. Okay, so let's run it. And Catron pops up, working directory. We're using TinyDB. It creates a JSON, just basically a flat JSON file that you can use as a database. Terminator is installed on my machine. GoBuster is installed on my machine. Those are tools I'm using, so I check to see if they exist. Reconnaissance information is being updated in TinyDB. The working directory is home, Knox, repos, notes. We have a config file for that. The host name is Spicy Hut. The IP is 10.10.169.63, force true, database, blah, blah, blah. Starting basic recon. It does fine. It runs the basic nmap scan. It didn't run my GoBuster. I don't know why GoBuster. Oh, I know why GoBuster didn't kick off. That's what I forgot to kill. We're already running a GoBuster over here. So let's delete this. Or not delete it, but stop it. Let's run this one more time so I can show you what exactly I'm talking about again over here. So we run the basic nmap scan, and then if the nmap scan finds that port 80 or port 443 are open, then it should kick off a GoBuster, which it did. So that opens in a new window. We all know that GoBuster can take a while, and it's just nice. It just opens up in a new window, and that way it can run in the background while you're working on other things. You see it kick off a full nmap scan because in the beginning we just kick off a short nmap scan. This nmap scan can run pretty fast and can run in the time that it takes for my little API server, because we've got an API server running. Let me show you over here. So this is just a fast API server for Python, and I like this because I want to actually have an API server running. You can see over here, here's the front end of the fast API. It's literally just a little landing page right now. And the problem becomes when you start trying to include an API is that I tried to kick off the long nmap scan And the funny thing is the long in-map scan will finish. Here it is, right here. So right here, in-map scan executed. There's the full scan. It finds the ports that are open. But guess what? By the time this scan is done doing its scan, we've lost the connection because it's too long. See right here, it timed out. So I know what we need to do. The last time we met, I just did not have the willpower on a Friday morning to do it. So today we're going to do it, and that is what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we do currently with the GoBuster scan. So with the GoBuster scan, we don't wait for the GoBuster scan to finish. We just, right here, we kick off the GoBuster scan, and then we go on about our day. And so we're going to have to change how the in-map works for both of these so that the in-map does the same thing. So the in-map just kicks off the in-map scan and then goes on about its day. And that's fine because I believe in here in our actual, let's see, where's Katron? There's Katron. And here is, run is for the, this is the fast API. Well, that just kicks off the fast API server. The API server is in app right here with routes. And we can see we've got the home route. We've got the perform in-map scan, which will close here. And then we have the GoBuster scan. That's all we have. And what we're doing is with the tools over here, we're defining at the top of the tools the two different in-map scans we're running. We're running a quick scan or a detailed scan. And here's our in-map scan function. And this will all still work. The thing is that we just need to, how do we, we'll have to look and see how we do it with GoBuster. Because with GoBuster, we actually just kick it off and then just go on about our day. So we're going to have to see how we're doing that exactly with GoBuster and then replicate that and then replicate it over here. So, all right. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so let's think for a second. I guess, oh, I know what I want to do first. I want to go over here to the CLI, and I want to go to our Katron. This is the CLI version of Katron. Sorry if this feels like it's getting complicated. It kind of is, but that's what happens when you code things. They start to get a little complicated, but that's fine. That's how you learn. So perform GoBuster scan is here. In-map results. Detailed quick scan. Here it is. Basic Recon is what we want. Now, Basic Recon, I already planned on Basic Recon turning into a for loop, or a while loop, excuse me, but we're going to have to make it a full while loop. And I'm not quite sure exactly how I want to do it yet. So what I want to be able to do is have some kind of like, for Basic Recon, I feel like we need to be able to have some kind of checklist that checks off when tools are completed, but we won't worry about that, implementing that right now. We are going to go ahead and add a while in here, while true. We're just going to literally make it a while true right now. Really lame. And we need to kick these guys over. All right, so now it's while true. Now it's never going to get out of here. It's just going to stay in here forever, which is fine right now. And right now we just have the 3 steps. Nice and easy. Perform in-map scan, perform GoBuster scan, perform in-map detailed scan. Now, what's going to happen here is we're going to have to start checking against our database. Because what we need to do is we need to perform this in-map quick scan, and then it needs to be if, let's see, we got to figure out how our little database is working here, which, by the way, I need to check that too, because that was getting a little odd. So let's open up our Spicy Hut here. Again, little trick for you. If you're using VS Code or one of its derivatives, you can see here this is this tiny DB is JSON. If I right click and I hit, it's not refactor, it's format document, then it automatically just makes it nice and pretty. See, already here we have 2 of these, and that's fine. I think what's happening is when I run it, I think when every time I run it, it's making a new entry, and I don't want it to do that. I don't know why it's doing that to me, because I feel like that's going to be really weird when it has to try to grab the things it's grabbing, which I don't. It makes me frustrated already, because I'm how are we getting all this good information over here, but we're like duplicating it every time? Unless it's only looking at one, and if that's the case, then we should only ever have one and not create a second entry. So I guess that's an even bigger problem than the other stuff we have right now. So let's see if we can go take a look at that. So let's see. Let's go over. It wouldn't be in basic recon or those. It's got to be save the info. Okay. DB update. So this DB update, I feel like this DB update function is going to be the problem. See right here, self DB update. And see, it's just updating hostname. So if there's more than one hostname in it, how does it know which one it's updating? So we need to figure this out. Where is DB update? Let's just use DB dot update. Where's that at? Oh, it only appears once in here. Okay. Okay, here's all of our selves here. There's all of those, the init functions. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Have to have the banner. It's very important that we have that banner. Parse arguments. That's how we hit our IP and our hostname and our force. Set target info. Okay, so this is just where we're saving it in memory, not in the database. Here's our init database right here. Okay, so we're initting the database. Make directory. Okay. DB path. Oh, this is literally just making it. Okay. Info dict. This should be writing. Yeah, set info dict. Insert into dict. Okay, so I think that is the problem. All right, so let's go talk to ChatGPT about this morning, or Claude. Maybe we'll use Claude. And let's see if Claude can help us out here and can tell us what exactly is happening. So hold on here just a second. Just getting some stuff set up here in the background. Huh. Okay. So let's go to Claude and let's see if we can get him to talk to us about this stuff. I'm going to have to use my cursor on this side of the world. When I say this side of the world, I just mean over on my desktop, my Windows desktop, so I can copy things back and forth easily to Claude. Let's go here. Let's open up Claude this morning. We'll see how he's doing this morning. Good morning, Claude. Let's get we got a conversation going here. Let's just ask him, how are you this morning? And he says, I'm functioning well and ready to assist you. Okay, so let's get this right. I am using TinyDB with Python. Okay, that's the first thing I needed to know. Here is what my TinyDB looks like after running my program twice. And we're going to show it that it is has 2 entries. We don't have to give it everything. We just need it to understand that there's some weirdness going on that we don't intend. And see if it can help us to determine why there's this weirdness. Copy. Control V. Notice that each time that for each time I have run the program, there is an entry. But this is not the behavior. Well, not that but this is not the behavior that I want. It should have a single entry, no matter, why am I getting double letters? No matter how often I run the program. Let's see, here is my code where I add the entry to the DB. And I feel like this is the problem. The problem is that when we add when we're adding it in, we're doing an insert, and I don't feel like it should be an insert. So here's this. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I know why this is working without a problem. It's because here in the code, I am inserting it into the DB here, but then I keep infodict in memory. And so what I'm doing is I'm never referencing the database again. I just keep using infodict in memory. That's what the problem is. So we may not have to fix this now, but I still want to know why it's doing it, because I feel like I'm doing it wrong. Am I adding this information to the database incorrectly to be able to update it easily and not duplicate it? Man, why do I keep getting these double letters when I'm typing? It's really annoying. The issue is that you're using insert, let's read this, every time to run the program, which always adds a new entry. To achieve the behavior you want, updating an existing entry or creating a new one if one doesn't exist, you should use upsert. TinyDB doesn't have a built-in upsert method, but we can implement this behavior manually. Here is how you can modify your infodict method to achieve this. Okay, let's read first, and then we'll read over here. Let's let it read to us this morning. I think I have this set up correctly where you guys can hear when I do this. You'll have to let me know if you can hear this or not, but I don't like reading. Reading is too hard. So I have a really nice Chrome extension that reads for me. So let's see if we can do that this morning. Let's have it read to here. You should be able to hear this. Hopefully not too loud. Is it going to do it?
This modified version does the following. It first creates the infodict as before. It then searches for an existing entry in the database that matches the current hostname and IP address. If an existing entry is found, it updates that entry with the new information. If no existing entry is found, it inserts a new one. This approach ensures that you'll have only one entry for the unique combination of hostname and IP address, regardless of how many times you run the program. A few things to note: this assumes that the combination of hostname and IP is unique for each entry. If you need a different unique identifier, you can modify the query accordingly. The recon date will be updated each time you run the program. If you want to preserve the original date, you could modify the code to only update this field if it's a new entry. Make sure you've imported the query class from TinyDB at the top of your file. Python copy from TinyDB import query. Would you like me to explain any part of this code in more detail? Copy retry Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.
Thanks for reminding me. Okay, so let's look over here. So it has, here's our self info dict. Try to find an existing entry. So existing entry, self.db get query.hostname and query IP address. Okay, so that's nice. So it's going to look up the hostname and IP address. And if the hostname and IP address are in the entry, then it assumes that, oh, that is an entry. If existing entry, then update the existing entry. Else, insert a new entry if none exists. I like that. That feels simple enough. So let's copy this. And let's go back to our code. It has to be on this side. And let's add this in. Let's paste. We got to kick this in because this is not right. There we go. Now we should be good. We got to kick all this in. It didn't come in formatted correctly. This actually, and this all didn't come in formatted correctly either. There we go. Okay, so now it should be formatted correctly. Kind of. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so that's good. So now it should try that. Let's test it. So let's delete the Spicy Hut TinyDB. If it'll let me. Sometimes it's really stupid about deleting things. There we go. Let's go back over to our Kali machine. Okay. So we deleted that. Let's run a force. Oh, we have a syntax error on 176 because I'm sure something didn't get formatted correctly when I pasted this in. 176? Oh, because I put this while true in here and I put this if in. Let me get rid of this if. We didn't finish what we were doing right there. It's my bad. It's my bad. It's not your fault. Not your fault, guys. It's just me. Okay, so here we go. So this runs. And I don't know if TinyDB already exists that fast. Spicy Hut. Yeah, TinyDB's already back. And let's format. So we only have one entry now. It's going to fail again here, remember? Oh, and again, it failed to go buster because I yet again forgot to destroy it and turn it off. It's going to run the full nmap scan. And it'll fail again here too, but that's fine. And then we'll run it again. I just want to let it die. Man, it actually is like holding on. Oh, it's because I got that stupid for loop going. I'm going to have to take that out right now because we're not ready for it. We're not ready for you, while loop. You're just kind of messing everything up, buddy. Okay. Let's just get back to that. Let's go back over here. Let's kill this. And let's run it one more time because now we need... What we're doing is we're trying to see if TinyDB is getting double entries. And it's not. It's getting the same... we have a single entry now. So I think we fixed... I think we fixed the whole multiple entry into TinyDB thing, which is the first problem. So we've got one problem down in 23 minutes this morning, so not bad. All right, so now let's get back to our, let's kill this, and let's get back to our real problem this morning, which is the problem of how Nmap needs to just run and we need to go on about our day. So annoying. Let's see how GoBuster's set up. The thing is, here's why I'm so frustrated, because I really like getting like these results back in here, and there's no reason we can't still. I just have to change my thinking. I'm gonna have to kick off. I'm gonna have to have a separate API. I'm gonna have to have an API that kicks off, and then I'm gonna have to have an API that returns results. And to be honest, I could theoretically have, yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Decisions are hard when you're making code. Trying to decide how to do things and with your vision and trying to get your vision to match what is actually coming out on the screen. So, all right. We're going to look at, we're in tools. Let's look at GoBuster. So we have run GoBuster, scan. Yeah, it kicks it off in another window, and then it just ends. And maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we just do them all in another window. Maybe we do the Nmap scans and everything in another window. Maybe that's the way we do it. Maybe that ends up being easier. Just everything runs in a Terminator window, and then you can visually tell when the scan is finished. What we really need, what we need to know when that thing is done, though. We got to know when that Nmap scan finishes, though. So I wonder, what I need to know is there a way to like name a Terminator window and then be able to find it? Let's do this. Let's this is weird. Just stick with me for a second. Let's see if we can do it by process. So what I mean is, we're going to start this. We're going to get, oh crap, I've already got it running. I didn't even need to do that. Let's kill this. It runs its basic Nmap scan, and then it kicks off its GoBuster, which we're still going to have to do it because I've got my Nmap scan set up to run the same way. And when I mean that, I mean they use the same function to run, which is, I really like that too. So here's our GoBuster. Wonder if there's a way to also like rename this window. Can you name the window? We're going to have to ask Claude about that real quick, because I'd love to name these windows too. Okay, so there we go. So it's dead. Oh, did the full Nmap scan completed successfully? Wild. We didn't get versions though, and I feel like there are versions in the full scan, but we'll have to come back to that. Okay, so let's go over here to Claude. Let's ask him a new question this morning. We'll just start a new chat. Let me give you a little LLM advice here. Okay, so you might think to yourself, why do I need to start a new chat? I'm kind of talking to him about the same stuff. It's the same program. But really, this stuff that I'm about to talk to Claude about with this GoBuster stuff really has nothing to do with the TinyDB stuff. And remember, if I ask him a new question right here, all of this context right here, which isn't that big yet, goes with it. And Claude doesn't do It doesn't cut you off every couple hours on the API based on how many questions you ask. It cuts you off based on how many tokens you use. So the longer you let your conversation go, every time you ask a new question, all the previous conversation goes with it as tokens, and you're eating your tokens up really fast. So it is better to just go ahead and start a new chat and talk to it. It really is. So let's do that. Okay. I am launching Terminator terminal windows from Python. Why am I getting double letters? From Python. Is there a way to give the Terminator window a name when launching it? Dang it. Stop. There we go. So we can do that, and that is pretty freaking cool. So we could actually have nice. This window title could end up helping a lot because it could help me be able to tell if a window is open. So let's ask it another question. Okay. I will have a long running process in the new Terminator window. What are ways that I can determine that the process in the window has completed? Let's see if it has any suggestions for me. While it's doing that, I need to check something here on my phone. I apologize. Okay, so let's see what it came back with. So we got the part about naming it. Okay. There are several ways to determine when a long-running process in a new Terminator window is completed. Here are some approaches. Subprocess. Yeah. So the subprocess... Oh, use subprocess with wait. No, I don't want wait. This method blocks the main Python script until the process completes, which may not be ideal. Yeah, not ideal. Use subprocess popen with poll. This approach allows your main script to continue running while periodically checking if the process has finished. Use a flag file. Have your long-running process create a file when it's done and check for the existence of the file. Yeah, that's an old school method. We used to do that with Puppet. Puppet would actually use that pretty extensively. So subprocess, time, temp, process flag. Remove the flag file if it exists from a previous run. Launch the Terminator window. Okay. Uses interprocess communication. You can use various interprocess communication methods like pipes, sockets, or shared memory to communicate between your main Python script and the process. Whoa. If your process has a unique identifier, like a specific process name, you can periodically check it, see if it's still running. Yeah, see, I like that idea. Process name equals your process name, subprocess popen terminator, long process, your long command. If running, return name in pname, return name in p.name for p in psutil.process.iterate while is running process name, process still running. Oh, is running process, okay. I think the process name one is probably going to be the best for us. Yeah, I like the process one. I like the process monitoring the best. How do we identify the terminator processes? Which, by the way, while it's talking, we can actually, I think, do that right now because there is one running right now. We already have it back here. So we'll do a ps aux pipe grep terminator. We get it. Well, no, it's not there, and it's not called. I spelled terminator wrong because I got that double T again. I got to figure out why it's doing that. So there it is. And the nice thing is, in the process is the actual command. So I could grep terminator. I could grep GoBuster. And nope, that doesn't work. Grep GoBuster. Oh, it did work. So grepping terminator works. Grepping GoBuster works. The problem is there's actually, why is there more than one? Huh. Interesting. Oh. Okay, so it's not that there's more than one. See if you can follow this with me. So this one is not real. This is Terminator is the process, but Terminator was launched to run GoBuster. So it's just showing the whole command because you get to see the whole command that launched the process. The second one here is the actual GoBuster process getting launched inside of GoBuster. And actually this isn't either. This is a bash that was told to launch GoBuster, and then this is the actual GoBuster right here. Wow. So that is the problem. How do we know if it exists? I guess if it finishes, I think the whole window may close. So if we go in here and we like kill this inside it, yeah, you see that? Press enter to close this window. So now if we run it, fascinating. So now the Terminator window is still open. The bash command that was the bash instance, that's the word I want to use, that was used to run GoBuster is technically still open because that's what's waiting right here. This is the bash. This is from the bash that was running the actual GoBuster. Terminator used bash to launch GoBuster. So if we press enter, now we close the bash and we close GoBuster or Terminator, and now it's all gone. Now Terminator and yeah, now it's all gone. Yeah, I could grep on the. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? I just saw some guys are talking back. Yeah, we could grep on the PID. I don't know. That's one of the things I got to figure out. Can we get a PID though? Like when we launch it, can we get a PID? That's what I'm saying. Like, is there a way to launch it and then immediately get a definitive PID? That's what I would say. A definitive PID right off the bat, and already have that PID. Let's go ask Claude about that. Is there a way to get the PID from subprocess? Maybe subprocess has the PID when it launches it, because subprocess is going to launch it. The P open. Is there a way to get the PID from the subprocess command? Come on, Claude, help me out here, buddy. Oh, there is. You can get the process ID, the PID, directly from the subprocess popen object. This can simplify your process monitoring. Well, why didn't you tell me that in the beginning, Claude? You Claude. Let's modify our script to use this method. Here are the keys to the benefits to this updated approach. The launch terminator process now returns the PID directly. Okay. In the monitor terminator process, we now use this PID to create a PSUtil process object. PID equals launch terminator. What? Oh, command title. Yeah, because it's going to return. Nice. Process. Yeah. Stupid Claude. So yeah, exactly. Check the process is still active, which is more reliable than searching for the process by name and title. Yes, it is. Error handling. This approach has several advantages. It's more direct and efficient. We don't need to search for the processes. Among all the running processes, it's more reliable. It simplifies the code by removing the need for find terminator process function. The rest of the functionality remains the same. We still monitor the CPU and memory usage and print updates until the process completes. Would you like to explain any part? Would you like me to explain any part of this? No. Go away, Claude. You've done you've helped enough for right now. Okay, so let's go back to excuse me, let's go back over here to cursor, and we'll think about how we want to implement this. So it's not going to be over here in Ktron. Ktron's not going to care. It doesn't really need to know that. I feel like we need to retain all of that over on the API side, and what all the Ktron side is going to be doing is just asking the question of the Fast API app and saying, hey, do you have the results back? Hey, have you gotten anything back yet? So that means, let's just jump right in and try to see if we can get it on the Nmap scan. So here we go. Here's the Nmap scan. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do Nmap. We're going to have to make another route called, like, we have perform Nmap scan, and then we're going to have Nmap results. And I think that means that we're going to need to probably unify the Nmap results, which is going to be a little harder than it sounds probably. Let's open tools as well. Okay, so run Nmap scan. I think it might be as easy as adding on. So, like, when we run the GoBuster, where's it at? Check if Terminator's installed. Launch GoBuster. Where do we actually run? Sorry, got Got phone issues this morning. All right, so here it is. GoBuster command, subprocess, blah, 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 dir. Okay, so we're going to have to modify this guy. We have a subprocess ps out subprocess check output ps command. If GoBuster in ps out, print GoBuster. Oh, so we were already checking it for GoBuster to see if it was running in the background, and that's been working well, but we need to do it the other way. The PID thing makes way more sense and is probably much more reliable because we're going to get a specific PID for each one. But we don't have to worry about that now for this. This is just the launch GoBuster background. Okay, so we're going to try GoBuster command. Where's the freaking GoBuster command? Where do we make the command? Here it is. So if I remember correctly, the GoBuster command, yeah, I thought we had, oh, we don't have a no, because all we're doing is launching it in Terminator. And once Terminator launches, it just returns. Okay. So up here, when we use the command, we're not using Terminator. We're just launching it straight into the main Python process, and that's why it holds up everything. So we need to make it a Terminator command. All right. So run Python, run in map scan, execute in map scan, in map command. So all we're doing is putting args in here. Okay, so where are we actually putting together the command at? Execute. Try execute in map command. Okay, in map command equals prepare in, oh, that we have a whole function we made for this. Working dir host name IP output directory make dirs os path.join output dir nmap scan type IP replace. That makes the command? That doesn't feel right. Output dir equals make dirs. That's prepare output directory. Where's the command? Oh man. This is why you can't walk away from your own code for like more than a couple days, or even you can't even like read your own code anymore. It's so funny. Okay, where's it at? There it is. Okay. Nmap OA. Okay. Blah blah blah. So we got to add the Terminator onto this. Well, I guess, so we don't have to do the Terminator. Instead, we could just run it in the background. We could tell it to run as a background function, maybe. But that still might not. I still don't know if popen comes back. Let's look at GoBuster scan. I'm trying to understand why this one, if it's any different. Popen. That's it. We just popen. And it's done. Okay, so we do want to do that Terminator style. Because up here we do the popen and it just sits and waits and doesn't come back for a while. So if we're going to do that, that means we need to steal we got to steal the Terminator stuff off the front of here. Let's Terminator E bash C. Wow. Okay, that's fine. Copy dot join GoBuster command. Oh, that's because I'm okay. I just did it a little different there. Let's do this on another line up here, just so I can see it. Okay, so I don't know why that jumped down like that. Oh, what did I do? I didn't put that in the right place. That's what I did. Here we go. It's right here. I'm just trying to get this on a line so I can see it and then add it in down here. Okay, so I don't even need that. It would be like this. I think I just throw all of that on in front of here. And that should be enough to literally make it just pop out into another Terminator window. I do want to, before we go on, remember how it said to put a name on the Terminator window. Did I ask it that in this? Yeah. So subprocess Terminator title, window title. Okay. So we got to add the title on here. Let's go back. Okay. We're going to call it basic in-map scan. And we're going to Terminator. So long. Look at that. That's longer than that, but at the same time, it's a little cleaner, even though it's longer. I can get rid of this now. That's ugly. Okay, this is gonna break stuff, but don't forget to like and subscribe so Knox can enrich more people with his tips and tricks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, RB. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's run it now. It's gonna break, it's gonna break hardcore, but who cares, right? That's what we're here to do, is to try to figure out how to do this right. So yeah, and it did it, but there's a problem. There's no GoBuster window. Oh, there it is. What? Why is there a GoBuster window just by itself with no command and no title? Wow. Kick off in-map quick scan. You know why? I think it's because it's waiting for, the way I have it written right now, it's waiting for response. Like over here in routes. So this is expecting results, whereas the GoBuster scan doesn't expect anything. It just expects it to come back and say, yeah, I ran, I'm good. So we're gonna have to think that through now. So now that part works. So the process in-map output is gonna end up being a different thing. So where are we sending back results? Where it is, we're returning open ports and none. Okay. So over here in routes, it's expecting try data equals request.getJSON. If not, info dict. Okay, run in map scan. There it is. If error, JSONify. Okay, return JSONified results. Okay, so right now it's actually trying to return results, and we don't need that. We actually just want it to return success or fail. So that means that we're going to go over here, and really we don't need process in map output. All right, so we're going to prepare the output directory. We're going to validate the scan type. Should use existing results. Yeah, we're checking that. Process in map output. That we're not doing that. Prepare the in-map command. Return process in map output. Okay, so that's where this is where it needs to stop. So see here, execute in map command. And then here, boom, it should just stop. And instead it should just be, so by the way, that should be process in map. So prepare, execute, process. So this part, from here on out, the process in map scan, this part is going to end up being its own secondary endpoint route. So right now we have a perform in map scan, and down here we're going to need main.route. This needs to be a get in-map results, like that. That's going to have to be, yeah, do it. It may not be right, but go ahead. Yeah, that's going to have to be what we do. Oh, I do need that. Okay. So that's going to have to be the way this works. And instead up here, this one is only going to kick it off. This one is going to be the one to get the results. And then we're going to have to also build something that unifies, because if you look, what we do is we get the quick in-map scan, and we are creating a JSON out of that. And then we get the detailed in-map scan, and we're getting results out of that. Now let's see if they're really that much different. Just in this case, I mean, obviously every machine's gonna be different. So the detailed is 234 lines, and this one is only 123 lines. So there's definitely some other junk in here. Don't know if it's useful or not, but there's definitely other junk in here. So feels like, because it's JSON and because it has a uniform pattern, and I feel like the results from the basic are gonna be in the results from the more advanced, to be honest. So we may not have to do a hardcore, what am I trying to say, meshing of them, but that's the way we're gonna have to do it. All right, well that's about our time this morning. Should be back on Wednesday this week. Last week I just got bogged down at work and wasn't able to do Wednesday or Friday of last week, but I'm back on now, and should be able to do Wednesday and Friday. And I'm actually enjoying this. This is good to take about an hour at a time and try to work on this. We made some progress this morning. It's a little bit painful progress right now, but I think we're just dealing with how the best method to make this work is. Like, what is the best method to do this kind of thing? And it's painful. It's kind of hard. And I think that's why a lot of guys get stuck, and why I've even gotten stuck in the past trying to do this. So it's nice to just work on it for about an hour and walk away and not get too frustrated. And when we come back on Wednesday, we'll work on these routes, and we'll get this working to where in-map pops up in its own window, and we move on. And we'll have to put a if statement that says, if the in-map results are not done yet, then just keep looping, and we'll check again when it comes back. And then what we'll do is we'll start getting this loop working to where it's checking results, and if certain results have come back, it will check those results for more results, and check those results for more things, and then run new scans, and then get new results, which results in needing to run a different tool, and it should start to work the way that we think it should. And at some point, we'll hopefully be able to add a little LLM magic in here too, because at a certain point, we'll start being able to say, hey, LLM, look at these results and tell me what tool we need to run next. And also tell the LLM, hey, you have these tools at your disposal if you want to kick them off now. So anyway, thanks for hanging with me. Appreciate it a lot. Thanks, RB, for reminding everybody to like and subscribe. I liked it. I liked my own stream like I normally do. So appreciate it, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully see you all on Wednesday.